Okay, we're live. Should I just eat here, sit here in silence and just eat my dinner? ASMR? Just like chewing loudly. That'd be the worst ASMR ever. Hi, welcome. What's up?
I'm on TikTok.
Yes, I am on TikTok as well. What is this? What's up, Rogue? What are you doing? Oh, thanks for the finger heart. How are you? Just getting started over here. What's up? How are you? I would say your name, but I don't know. Oh, DJ69 official. Nice. What's been up? Heading to the studio. I'm in my own personal studio at home. It's not the most elaborate thing, but it's what I have. What are you doing at the studio? Are you making music or are you like recording other people? What are you doing? I like it, Picasso. Need some better mics. Me too, but I'm broke. I'm so broke lately. Sorry, it's dinner time and our dinner just arrived, so you get to watch me eat. Good. Hope you enjoy. Man, the salad looks good. Yeah, all I got is this blue snowball. It's not bad. I hear it works pretty good. That's what people tell me. What's up, Matt? How are you? It's good to see you here. Yeah, I haven't been live in a while. I expected to see you show up at some point, but Harm and I have been too busy. I haven't been getting on here. But yeah, what's everybody up to? Oh, yeah, an apartment, huh? Recording people for your tracks. That's pretty cool. What kind of music do you do? There's Harm. Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, I'm live on YouTube right now too. You're welcome to go over there and support my channel if you're not already subscribed. You'd be helping me out a lot because I'd like to monetize eventually. But I'm a very long way away from that. But I'm 46 subscribers strong. What's up? Maybe we can make it 47 by the end of this live. My pronouns are, thanks for asking. That's really nice of you. They're he, him, or they, them. Yeah. What are your pronouns? Valen. Is it Valen? Valen? Thanks for the follow. Hi. What's up? Is it Minnie Lynn? How are you? He, him? Good. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that. Sometimes I assume and then I feel bad. Been wondering what you think of the supplement Alpha Brain that Joe Rogan takes. I'm willing to bet he doesn't actually take it. I'm just guessing. I think a lot of times when celebrities push stuff, they don't actually use the stuff. They're required when they do an ad to like, take in a tiny bit of it for the commercial, or like if it's just through their show. So usually you'll see them like take a sip and they're like done. They put it away. They don't. But I read up on Alpha Brain because I heard that you wanted to know about it, and I don't know. For one thing, I don't usually push stuff like that. I don't think that supplements really help people's brains that much, other than having like good health, So I guess supplement in the sense that, you need your omega-3s and you need to have like a variety in your diet. You should get good food. Probably don't eat a lot of saturated fats. That's really bad for you. It's very bad for your brain. But, getting a lot of fruits and vegetables, lots of different kinds of fruits and vegetables is very good. I think Yale figured out that the best kind of diet for your brain was a Mediterranean diet. So lots of like nuts and beans, things like that. Um, but as far as things like alpha brain, they typically don't work, and the research to back them is very poor. From the research that I saw for alpha brain, it does look like there might be a small beneficial effect, maybe. But at the same time, all the research that I read, there was not a single graph in any paper. They didn't post any of their tables or any of their data. So I couldn't even find any of their data to see whether or not the results were significant. And if they were significant, were they even meaningful? Because, sometimes you can get a significant result, but the result isn't a big enough change. For instance, um, what's an example? If I read a research paper on economics, something to do with economics or something, and it was like, if you took this certain class, you're more likely to get paid more than people who haven't taken this class, right? So people push this product. They go, you take this class, you'll get paid more, because people who take this class, it's been shown significantly that they get paid more than people who don't take this class. And then you're like, oh, all right, I should take this class. It costs $500, but it's going to be beneficial, right? And then, you look into the research behind it, and it's like, oh, the people making like 87 cents more a year on average. It's like, oh, well, that's not really worth my, $300-400 to take this class to make 80 cents more a year on average, maybe. So, but the data still came out significant. And then another weird thing with the alpha brain is that there wasn't any of that stuff that I could find. Reduces anxiety. I'm not sure why it would. But if you don't have enough potassium and magnesium in your system, that can increase your anxiety. And especially if you don't have magnesium. So because, I'll get into that in a second. But back on the alpha brain, I couldn't find anything with any data, so I couldn't really make a judgment other than they were just saying that people performed better on certain tasks. And then also there were reported side effects too. So I guess some people were like getting kind of sick after taking it for a while. I think I would stay away from it personally. But I will say that if you're having problems with anxiety, magnesium is a good way to go. A lot of people who have panic attacks take magnesium, and their panic attack symptoms tend to go away after a while, after like a week or two. One of the things that can cause anxiety is your body just generally feeling not right and imbalanced electrolytes. And how that can happen, because your whole nervous system requires potassium and sodium, as well as a myriad of other things, calcium, all these different things. But magnesium and potassium bind to each other. So you need to have them both in your bloodstream. If you don't, or in the juice, in the soup, as we call it, because if you don't have any magnesium, any potassium you take in, you'll just pee right out. So you need to have the magnesium for the potassium to bind, and you require potassium, as part of keeping your body at rest. So yeah, a lot of people who take magnesium supplements report that their symptoms of anxiety go away. I think it has something to do with regulating their heart and their nervous system. Hi, Mom. Sorry. He-Man, where? Hi. Yes, I am good. Thanks for asking, Minnie. Yeah, doing pretty well. Eating a salad, kind of. I'm picking at it while I talk. Good to know about the magnesium potassium. Yeah, so definitely, some people feel weird. Like I feel weird when I take magnesium. I would recommend, if you do, maybe take it at night. But take it at night and then eat a banana in the morning. You'll hang on to that potassium. You can get potassium from a lot of different sources, though. But yeah, having electrolytes is a good thing. But like anything, it's all in balance. You don't want too many of those things either. Hi, Rachel. Yeah, well, Yeah, I think, in terms of like magnesium, it's a pretty safe one. Or like omega-3, if you get fish oil tablets, they're pretty safe. But yeah, if you're the type of person who does have health issues and takes medication, you should definitely talk to your doctor before you start taking other stuff. Sometimes they can interact in bad ways. You don't want to do that. Your restless leg syndrome disappeared. That's really interesting. I also have restless leg syndrome, but I don't remember if magnesium helped with that. I can see why it would, though. Kind of putting your nervous system a little bit more in balance. My problem is when my electrolytes get out of balance, my heart starts acting really weird. And then that causes me to have anxiety. And then I have a panic attack. Totally cured it. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, a lot of people swear by magnesium for anxiety. Explain the brain and comprehension and critical thinking for elementary students. How can we help? Um, hmm. You have a lot of different things going on there. Let me think for a sec. The thing I was literally just talking about, having a balanced diet, that's probably like one of the most important things for any kid. And a lot of kids don't have a balanced diet, especially if they're poor. And especially if they're like, if they live in a food desert, it can be hard for them to get, their parents to get the kind of adequate nutrition. Um,
I think they might be asking about stages of development, but I'm not sure.
so I don't know. Harm thinks maybe you're asking about stages of development. Let's see.
Whatever. Not
Yeah, there's a lot to it. Lifespan development is an amazing field of research. It's one of the most interesting topics to me. Um, oh, you missed me a while back, huh? I'm glad you're here too. Um, I still have my lifespan book from college too. It's a very thick one. Um, yeah. So as kids are developing, they need different kinds of nutrients. I think you'll find that very young children like a lot of sugar and a lot of carbohydrates because they're growing. They need a lot of different stuff, but they'll take in a lot of excess sugar because they need that energy to grow and burn off, run around, exercise. So like basically anything you need, your kid needs, right? You need adequate nutrition. You need lots of exercise. Um, what's really bad for kids, which unfortunately we're pushing, is making them sit still and stare at a board. Um, Recess is very important. It's important that we get up and move around, get the blood flowing. It's bad for our circulation to be sitting there. It's bad for our attention span. We lose interest, and also it's just bad for a lot of reasons. So, like if you're messing up your circulation, right? Because I'm just like sitting here all day. My body is like cocked at weird angles, right? From my knees being bent, my waist being bent, my head being bent at a weird angle, whatever, if I'm like staring at my computer or whatever. And believe it or not, those are all contributing things to messing with the way oxygen flows through your body. And if you're messing with the way oxygen's flowing through your body, you're messing with the way your body becomes oxygenated. You're also messing with the way oxygen is carried to your brain. And if you're messing with the way oxygen is carried to your brain, you're messing with your brain power, right? As well as other nutrients, not just oxygen. You need all sorts of things. But hi, Vince. Yeah, kids need to be mobile, like Battle Royale. Hell yeah. Oh, thanks for welcoming me back. I'm happy to be back. Yeah, kids need lots of things. And then also, if you really want your kid to do well, you'll put them in an enriched environment. This doesn't necessarily need to be an expensive environment, although people with more money do have better opportunities for their kids to be in these environments. But they should have lots of different games to play or things to play with. They should have lots of friends to play with, and their environment should be constantly changing in a way that is conducive to helping them, not in a negative way. So what I mean by that is If you have things always changing, like the kid always has to pick up and move to a different state, that's terrible for your child. That was terrible for me growing up. I know that. And from a lot of people I've talked to, and also we've seen in research that kids that move around a lot tend to have issues with like building emotional connections and anxiety, um, like personal connections with other people. Because it's hard to make a really solid connection with another individual just to have that person ripped away from you and there's nothing you can do about it. It makes you less likely to try to do it again because it hurts and it sucks. But you do need to make connections with people, because if you don't learn how to operate socially. And then you become a very awkward person. And if you are socially awkward and have a hard time forming those connections, that can also impede your process of learning. It can make you feel embarrassed. It can make you feel uncomfortable in a learning environment with other people. Sometimes it helps people, but I think more often than not, the case is that it's distracting. Yeah. Toys to play with, environments changing. So when I say environments changing, like in a conducive way, what I mean is you're changing up the person's environment. Not that the environment changes in the sense that we're going to a different environment, but the environment that we have that is stable, we move things around, change how the bed is placed, change where your TV is, change the furniture around the house. If you have a garden, then, after the season's over, pick up and move stuff around the yard. Things like that. Outdoor activity is really important. Enrichment still includes lots of words and talking. Yes, hopefully. A lot of times, yeah. Teach fifth graders, and your students struggle most with comprehension and critical thinking. Oh, okay. I think I see what you're saying. So, yes, that'll depend on the area where you live too, because gosh, that's such a complicated thing. So the first thing my mind goes to is the fact that parents all teach their kids differently. And their religion is going to play into that, if they have any, or lack of religion will also play into that. If they are Black, they'll probably be different than a person being raised in a white household, or a Latin household, or an Asian household, because there's different cultural things that come into play. Let's see. Socioeconomic status obviously is a huge contributing factor to anything. But when kids are real young, I don't know. How do I simplify this? Sorry, I'm trying to make this simple. Here's how you make it simple. And this isn't when kids are young. This is for everybody, okay? Just animals in general. Humans are animals, real smart ones, or we think we are. But humans are animals. All animals like to maximize their benefit and minimize their activity. I want to get the most for my buck, the biggest bang for my buck. I don't want to do anything. I just want things handed to me. And this is evolutionarily just a thing. It's not a bad thing. It can be, I guess. But, our ancestors did not always know where their next meal was coming from. And oftentimes they were grazing through, bushes and fields, trying to just get enough nutrients throughout the day. And then eventually they would have to, to supplement their diet. And then they would find something big, kill it, and eat it. And when they did get the chance to eat, they typically engorge themselves, because you don't really know when the next time you're going to get to eat is again. Might be a few, might be a few weeks, and until then, you get your big meal. You're going to have to like pick at things along the way. So we are very evolutionarily driven to try to get the most while putting out the least effort, because that's very energy conservative, right? We don't want to waste our energy. That's just a survival thing. And that's something that, because we have higher cognition, we kind of have to like unlearn from our physiology, because obviously society is not necessarily that way anymore. It is for some people. And it kind of depends on what part of the world you're in. And it also depends on, how wealthy your family is. But every time of day can affect, even time of day can affect critical thinking and comprehension skills. That's true. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You're so like thinking about that, right? That's alertness levels, right? At the time where you are not most alert, but they're like anything else. Typically, natural behaviors fall on a natural curve, right? Normalized curve, where depending on how, I guess how not interested. What's the word I'm looking for? How alert, how attentive you are. You'll do better. So if you're not very attentive at all, you're probably not going to do very well at the task you're given because you don't have an interest in it. But as you become more attentive, you're probably going to do a lot better. And there comes a point where you're really attentive and doing very well. But there does come a point where you're too alert. And as your alertness is continuing to increase, then your ability starts to decrease. This is like, you can think of it as, I've had no coffee. I've had 1 cup or maybe 1.5 cups of coffee, and then I've had 4 cups of coffee, right? So like a kid who has no alertness whatsoever, they're just like completely passively watching the world happen, is going to be very bored. A kid who's alert and excited to learn is going to be doing very well because they're paying good attention. And a kid that has too much anxiety, given that maybe their home life really sucks or something, is going to be doing poorly again because they're overly anxious and too distracted to focus on their work. For critical skills, critical thing. So then, okay. So the comprehension is one thing, right? For comprehension, that's all going to depend on your level of experience and your ability to intuitively derive from that experience. Not everybody has the same experience. And the more experience you have and the wider variety of experience you have, the more likely you're going to be able to pick up on a new thing. And if you're somebody who has never really had to do new things, then picking up a new thing is going to be really hard. One way that I can like kind of give an example is if you're learning a new language for the first time, it's really difficult to learn a language, especially if it's not anything like the language that you grew up knowing. But if you already know your language and maybe 2 other languages, picking up the 4th language is actually a lot easier because your mind is already used to picking up language patterns that are different from your previous experience. And you'll start linking things together and going, oh, these are like these 2 are like this way, but these 2 are like that way. And then these 2 are like this way, and this is true of like programming. Learning your first programming language is very difficult. Then you go on to learn more and you pick them up a lot easier because you really just have to get over that initial hump. So when I think of, let's see. Yeah, so when I think of comprehension, I think, I had a really hard time with language comprehension as a kid. And that had to do with the fact that I didn't have a lot of friends growing up, and my parents weren't super good about like just talking to me about stuff. And so I was often left by myself to just learn things by myself and just figure it out. And this led to a lot of miscommunication that I would never know because I would just read something, go, I wonder what they meant by that. And then getting no feedback from anywhere else, I would have to just assume what I read was the thing that I'm assuming it is and hope that that's, hope for the best. And then, a month or two later, find out, oh, I'm actually wrong about that when I finally get the chance to talk to somebody about it. So in terms of comprehension, if they're having trouble with comprehension, they just need to practice. But the best way they're going to do that is by bouncing their ideas off of somebody else. Ask lots of questions. Yeah, that will help. And that also helps with the critical thinking too. Getting the students engaged, that's the hard part. So I have trouble not with elementary students because I don't teach elementary students. Actually, I don't teach at all anymore. But when I was teaching, I taught college students. These are kids that are like 19, 20 years old. And I will tell you that they have a terrible time with critical thinking and reading comprehension oftentimes. I have to like sit with them and I just oftentimes they don't make it known to me until they're taking their test. And then they raise their hand while they're taking their test and I go to talk to them and they're like, what does this question mean? And I have to kind of break it down for them. I try to help as best I can without like giving them the answer, but I'll tell them, well, look at what the sentence is asking here. Okay. Do you remember the day we did this lecture? Yeah. Do you remember what we found out? Yeah. Okay. So read it again. What is it asking? Read it slowly and carefully, right? Don't over answer. Don't overthink it. But the reason I have to do that for so many students is because a lot of students never actually had that opportunity. And critical thinking is very much having the opportunity to figure things out for yourself. Now we're kind of on the opposite side here. So now your answer is to say, go try to figure this problem out. Just go do it on your own. And then when they come back, they should have either solved it or more likely have said, I can't solve this. And then you give them a hint. And once they have their hint, give them a few minutes to mull that around in their head, right? The fact that they've already tried to solve it on their own has primed their brain to receive new information. So now you give them a hint. This gives them something to like go off of. And they may solve it, but chances are they probably won't. They may have to come to you as an elementary student. They may have to come back to you and say, I thought I got it, but then I didn't. And you go, that's totally okay. That's the other thing. It's never okay to make somebody feel like they're dumb. It's never okay to make somebody feel like, oh, why haven't you gotten this yet? Right? Like, as though that was the expectation. The expectation is never, oh, you should have gotten it, ever. The expectation is always, yeah, this shit's hard, huh? Well, let's work on it together now. And then you may have to give them the answer, especially for elementary level kids. But the more puzzles, the more problems, the more, I guess, convolutions. I don't know. The more things that a person comes into contact and learns how to conquer, the more likely they are to come across something new and conquer that based on their previous experience. So when you're talking about comprehension, that's their experience based on context provided to them and their interaction with each other, but also with presumably somebody higher up, a teacher or somebody, or a parent or mentor or whatever. When we're talking about critical thinking, we're talking about solving problems. So this should be geared at puzzles. They could be like mental puzzles. They could be visuospatial puzzles, like actual things people hold, like a Rubik's Cube or something, right? Yeah. The more chances they get to solve something. And then they do need to solve it and feel like they solved it. Once they solve it, reward them, right? And even if you have to solve it for them, let them know they solved it with you. They were helping you. You helped them. You work together. Time for a reward. You need that reward because you need that dopamine. If you don't get that reward, who gives a crap that you're wasting all this energy in the first place, right? Kids are taught in some ways not to think critically depending on what kind of things they are learning at home and where they are geographically. Correct. What part of the brain is involved in comprehension and critical thinking? Well, literally the entire thing. Sorry, I haven't been eating at all, and I need to. Um, yeah, so um, if we're talking about the brainstem, we're talking about a person's level of alertness, right? How awake are you? This is what Harmony was saying earlier. I think it was Harm who mentioned time of day matters, right? If it's at 3 a.m. or at 3 p.m., you're probably like maximizing that time of day. But for the typical child, they get up what, like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. They're probably ready to go around like 8 or 9 a.m. And then, around noon, they need their lunch. They need to relax for a bit. And then around like 1:30, they're probably back at it again. And then about 3:30, they're actually really, ready to go home because they've been there all day. In reality, we should be teaching kids at 3 p.m. That's like the best time to teach them, but we're like, I don't know why we don't. I guess we just don't do that. We're like, nah, it's time to go home by then. So, literally from the brainstem where we're talking about alertness, that's the first thing, right? Are you even awake and aware enough to be here right now? Or is everything just flying over your head and you're just ready to get out of here? We talk about the reward, the dopaminergic systems, the reward processing. Those stem from the brainstem and then they go out through the whole cortices, right? This is very necessary for reinforcing learning pathways. It's like, who cares if we're doing all this stuff if I'm not getting anything out of it and I don't feel like I'm getting anything out of it? Why are you making me sit here and do this? I know that was a huge problem for me in class, is just like, I already know this stuff. I don't feel like doing this homework because I've done it 1,000 times and you've never once justified why I should do it. So yeah, I'm not going to learn anything. I'm just not interested. And then from there, you need your cortical processing for your critical thinking. And also, like, the reason why they should go outside is because you very much need tactile stuff. And if you're going to teach kids, teach them tactilely, right? With their sense of touch. Activate the whole cortex, not just the occipital lobe, not just the prefrontal cortex, up in here. Like, really activate the entire thing. So give them something to touch. Give them something to smell when you can. Smells a very powerful memory retrieval cue. Give them something to touch, smell, see, hear. Make them really learn about this thing you're trying to teach them if you can. That's why math's a hard thing to teach. It's very much conceptual, and that's it. You can kind of make it visual. That's it. I bet I could figure out some cool stuff, though, even for math. I think homeschooling is okay, but the problem is that what I've seen with kids that are homeschooled their entire life is they typically lack social development. Unless you're able to make them a part of a lot of extracurricular activities. But like, they don't know how to navigate a school environment. Like, they have to, if you ever put them in school, they'll eventually learn. But if you never put them in school, they never learn. And so the structure and the way that they behave will be different from their peers. I mean, the people I know that were homeschooled, they're all right. There's nothing like super wrong with them, but they typically are a little socially awkward. Hang on one second. Hi, Garbage Badger. Happy Friday. Would this strategy be more in line with constructivism? That's correct. That is 100% correct. I'm actually not super familiar with teaching strategies. I used to be. I actually was like a master tutor from the CRLA. I had certification. It's no longer valid because that was or 6 years ago or something. Um, yeah. No, as opposed to just like sitting there and trying to learn passively. Yeah. I personally, I don't think anybody actually can passively learn very much. I think based on research, you can passively learn about as much as you can learn from just reading. And we know that if you read a text and are fully operational, meaning you are taking in everything that you're reading, you will only retain about 10% of it, which is a good chunk. That's not bad. You have to reread it though to get more out of it. As opposed to being active in your learning, in which case you're going to take in a lot of different stimuli that are all related to this thing. It's kind of like trying to learn Spanish by yourself at home versus trying to learn Spanish in a city that speaks Spanish, right? Everybody's helping you to learn along with you, with you, right? Yes, Harmony has now traveled around Seoul 27 times.
El Sol.
El Seoul. Congratulations. I'm well pleased you have survived this long. I made Harmony a birthday card. I don't know if you guys want to see it or if she wants to show it. It was pretty cute. They're all right. Hi, Ember Maypop. How does one deal with boredom that comes from reading, studying? I get so frustrated. Terror ride around the soul. Well, you have to take an interest in what you're learning, right? If you can't take an interest in what you're learning, like who cares? It's not applicable to me. If it is applicable to you, you want to capitalize, I hate that word, but capitalize on how it is applicable to you. For me, a lot of the time, it was, this is applicable to me because even though it's not the knowledge I want, I do want it. It's the knowledge that will lead me to getting the knowledge that I want. So I take an interest. Sometimes I have to slam my head into the wall like 45 times before I actually like it hits me and I actually like start to take an interest. Another thing is that people are weird in that we tend to be interested. We tend to be more interested in things that we have more experience with. So even if we start off disinterested in something because we've never experienced it before, the more we do experience it, the more likely it will become that we start to like the thing that we're experiencing, even if previously we hated it. This could be like a type of music or a type of story. Could be a TV show, you know, it could be a thing you're learning. It took me like 30 tries to watch an episode of The Office, and then I loved it. But I couldn't watch that first episode. Stupid neurodivergent brain. If you want to see it, Harm's going to have to go grab it. It's downstairs.
What is it?
The birthday card I made you. No, 44 won't work. You got to do 45 exactly. 45.8. Teaching's the best way. Yeah, if you're ever trying to learn something new and you're struggling with it, the thing you should do is try to teach it to somebody else. And if you have nobody, get yourself a rubber duck. I know this looks like a neuron, but it's a rubber duck. Here's the card that I made Harmony for her birthday. I hope you like it. Tell me, what do you think? Do you like the little weird demons on his shoulders? Ah, yes, fun things. Dopamine, right? Yeah, get that dopamine going. Helps you learn.
Read what it says, babe. Someone
Oh, it says, I am well pleased that you have survived this long. Yep. Oh, in terms of like aromatherapy or soft, cozy blanket, if you're trying to learn for a test, aromas are really powerful retrieval cues. Just want a piece of gum while you study, and then take that gum with you for your test, right? Drink a type of tea when you study, but make sure you have that tea right when you're taking your test or before. Comfy cactus is always welcome. Still can't watch the first season of Parks and Rec. It's so cringy. Yeah, they're really hard to get past, but they're well worth it. Both of those shows, so hard to get past the first season, but well worth it afterward. I can make people have begged me for a very long time to make a coloring book. Maybe I should make one. What do y'all think? Super creepy coloring book. I'm glad that you like it. Good. You aren't dirt food yet. Bring a new piece of gum. No, typically you want to bring the same piece of gum you've been chewing on, like that girl Violet, what from Willy Wonka. You remember her? She's like, I've been chewing this gum for like 87 years. I'm just kidding. You definitely want a new piece of gum. You want the new flavor, the same type of gum, but a new piece, fresh piece. All right, fine. I'll start working on a coloring book. Give me ideas of things to draw. Don't put it in my comments here. Go find one of my videos. Just comment freely or message me if you want. You'd buy it? Maybe I will. Maybe I should start putting some of these drawings up on Redbubble too.
post a video showing some of your drawings and ask people the comments on what they want to see.
That's a good idea. I'll post a video. Should self-publish a coloring book on Amazon. Zero investment once scanned. Oh, what do you mean? Tell me more about this. Also, I hate the Amazon, but doesn't everybody? I have not seen Fantastic Fungi. Tell me about it. What's it like? Is it worth the watch? I'm assuming it is if you brought it up. Redbubble is a neurology coloring book. That's a good idea. Redbubble is apparently like a website you can go on and buy people's art, and the website itself has aligned itself in such a way that it can put that person's art on all sorts of items like pillowcases, cups, shirts, refrigerator magnets, all sorts of things. And so you can buy people's artwork that you like. And I have a Redbubble for Neuraljack. I think it's for Neuraljack. But yeah, I only have one drawing up so far. I have another drawing to put up on there. I should just start throwing stuff up there. Amazon will print them on demand. Okay. It's really interesting. Okay. Ingram Spark. I want to see that. I've always wanted to do a kids book. I want to do like creepy alternative kids books. I don't know if anybody will buy them, but I just want to do it for my own personal. It's just something I want to do. Give them something different new to look at. Kind of spooky. Like something that really touched my heart as a child was scary stories to read in the dark. And part of what really spoke to me was the creepy aesthetic of the art. Um, Ember Maypop, will you message me with like a link or something? Can't get past formats. Alphabet book with monsters. Oh, that's such a good idea with like D&D monsters or something. Oh, I'm doing it. I'll do that for sure. Yeah, hopefully adults will love it too. That's the trick, is making something the adult likes too, so that they'll sit with their kids while they do it. You know? I'll adjust this a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so creepy. Yeah, Melody doesn't have to buy them. We will send them. We'll make sure there's tons of leftist ideology in there. What are things that monsters like? Well, they hate capitalism. We know that. Monsters are socialists. When they dismember a human, they make sure equal parts go to everybody. Well, not equal. There's a whole equity's not the same. Oh, really? Yeah. Scary stories to tell in the dark inspired my art a lot as a kid too. All that art's been stolen though, which just is so depressing. So depressing because it was such good art. As a teenager, I made some of my best artwork and I made a ton of it every day. Let me see. Oh, I remember Shel Silverstein. Yeah. Yeah, Falling Up. I had that book.
Where the sidewalk ends was one big one.
Where the Sidewalk Ends? Yeah. I remember reading that one in school. A is for anthrax, B is for black hole. Oh my god. Let's not start with anthrax. I don't feel like that's a good idea. I don't know if I'm going to get books that sold that way. Although maybe I will, but the people buying them, I'm not sure I want buying them. Oh yeah, she had all those books as a kid. Stolen. Yeah, all my art's been stolen. I've seen it tattooed on people too, so somebody, has passed my artwork around. Really irritating. But a lot of my artwork from when I was like a teenager, the last I heard of it was sitting in somebody's storage unit in Oregon, and for all I know, they sold it or something. Stolen in the sense that they literally took my books from me. Yeah. Before I had published them, because I really didn't think my art was worth anything as a kid. You know, something that I stopped making artwork for the longest time because of that too. Because it really just something about working really hard on these things that you're proud of and somebody else just takes them and benefits from them, doesn't credit you. They took it without your permission. They never give it back. It just really bums you out and makes you not want to put effort into it anymore, you know? Fake locations on maps. Yeah, my creepy designs as a kid. Unless you're talking about something else. But yeah, that was the stuff that was stolen. All my stuff's been stolen or thrown away. I have a few things now. I have that drawing of me as a Pez dispenser, and Harmony as a snowman. Snow lady. Yeah, it's not fun. All right, we love you, Chris. Be good. Eat all your lunch. Don't talk to strangers. We'll be by to pick you up after school. The salad's good. Yeah, I think it might be fun to do more videos, drawings, and putting them on TikTok. And on here too, on YouTube. What are the ABCs of neuroscience for children? Astrocyte. A is for astrocyte. B is for bed nucleus stria terminalis.
Or brain.
Or just brain. I will do that. What party, Katie? Also, sorry I forgot to invite you to the live. I forgot to invite anybody.
Sure, it's not totally cool.
Thanks, Ember Maypop. Yeah, the brain. I'm like, I couldn't think of anything. My brain don't work good.
Has a brain directly in front of you.
Don't follow my salad. Don't follow my salad.
You are like the epitome of just overthinking things, overcomplicating things.
I don't overcomplicate things.
For yourself, you do.
I just the right amount of complicate things. You're being forced. Oh. We'll have fun at the party that you don't want to go to, I guess. Hey, babe. Can you go get that thing?
Oh.
There's so much food here. I've barely eaten any of it. It's been an hour.
Yeah, eat.
Need somebody to have dinner with? Right here.
Mukbang. Mukbang.
Huh?
Mukbang. Mukbang.
Mock tub?
It's when people eat on camera.
Mukbang?
Mm-hmm.
I've literally never heard that term.
I'm pretty sure everybody else in the chat.
I guess I hate watching other people eat. Naturally difficult. That's a good term for it. Same. That probably lends to my lack of reading comprehension skills. Because I read things and I think somebody means something else. Other people read the same thing and they get what they mean immediately. I'm like, that could mean like 30 different things. I guess I'll just adjust my entire life to these many different options it could be. I've never heard that, no. I'm too self-absorbed. I don't watch other people. I just watch myself in the mirror. Five people eat Taco Bell Mexican pizzas. You know what? Honestly, though, when you're hungry, watching other people eat is like super fun. Especially like, what are those two guys on YouTube? I forget their show. You know what I'm talking about, huh?
I don't know. There's a lot of people who do eating stuff. Oh, are you talking about Good Mythical Morning?
Oh, yeah. Good Mythical Morning. Yeah. Those guys are fun to watch. Yes, I have heard of bionic font. I don't know how true that is. I've read it. I've read things written in it. It seemed like it was okay, but for me, it doesn't feel any different than just reading
Okay,
regular font.
I finally came across that for the first time the other day, and it made a huge difference for me.
Maybe it helps people with ADHD. Harm says it made it a huge difference for her. I personally feel like it was the same for me. It is pretty weird though, how they kind of like darken the first half of the word. Whatever we can do to facilitate learning, though. Didn't do anything for you? Oh, but you like it, huh? Ember says yes. Katie says no. All right, 2-2. Hey, that's okay though. As long as it helps some portion of the population, it's useful, right? Bionic reading. That's such a weird thing to call it, though. Like, how at all is that bionic? Scanning with your eyes unfocused. So, bionic reading is you take like a paragraph, and the font is really strange in that it doesn't it bolds it slightly bolds the first like couple of letters of each word that are the focal point for your eye, so that your brain picks up the first half of the word and then can automatically like fill in the second half so that you can move to the next word faster, supposedly. But in my experience, it didn't really work. And apparently it didn't work for Katie either. But for some people, it works. So it's already kind of a well known fact that if you read a word and all the letters are jumbled, but the first letter is in the right place and the last letter is in the right place, you still read the word fine, or at least a good portion of the population can, because we're really good at understanding and recognizing patterns. I think this kind of works a little bit off that principle. Everybody's brain's the same, exactly the same. Senior Solo Dolo, what's up? Oh, that makes sense. Katie, what were you going to mention about reading the first and last letters?
ASMR.
Thanks for the rose. What?
ASMR.
Are you enjoying your dinner, buddy? Sorry for eating on live. I'm just over here trying not to die. It requires that I take in nutrients on occasion. Sam. Just working. I don't really get to chill though very much. That's why I haven't been on. I've had like a bunch of health issues come up. Really busy with work, like always. Tom and I have barely gotten to like do anything fun these last few weeks. We've been so busy with our jobs and stuff. The sticky hands are a wonderful, fun time for everybody, Katie. Thanks for asking. Oh man, I get the feeling you bought those. All of you bought those for her. for the sole purpose of irritating me.
Yes.
Trick's on you. I get to irritate her. You got lots of skateboarding in your past? What does that mean? Is that like equating to head trauma? If so, same. Oh yeah, we are going to the beach tomorrow. Wasn't the rain supposed to be like crazy right now? What's happening? It doesn't sound like it's raining. Beach day tomorrow. We get to actually celebrate Harm's birthday since she didn't get to do anything for her birthday. When was it? Was it yesterday? Oh my God, how much time has it been?
Yes.
It's hard to believe today's Friday. I took a huge nap. I took one of those naps where you wake up 3 days later, but it's been 4 hours.
You're disoriented, sweaty.
Disoriented, sweaty. I threw up a little. No, I'm just kidding. Young boy in the street. What year is it? I mean, day. I don't know. My brain don't work good. Rip Van Winkle.
Yeah.
Lots of swimming pools.
The weather says at 10 p.m. it's supposed to be 4 raindrops and a lightning bolt.
4 raindrops and a lightning bolt. I better go outside. Hey, look what I have. It's a good book. If you've never read The Alchemist, dope book. Read it. But I found something the other day. The other day, a rabbit hopped up to me. Just hopped up to me out of nowhere. Little cottontail. Normally, if they ever see me, they book it. They just start running. But this one, I was having my morning coffee and he just hopped right up to me from all the way across the yard out from the street. Just walked right up to me. He was not a pet. He was definitely a wild rabbit. He was huge too. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? I just drank my coffee with him for a bit. Then he turned around and he left. And like the day after that, I was really irritated on the phone. I'm like trying to deal with some bullshit that I won't get into here. But I looked down for just a split second. And it's so funny too, because I always tell Harm, you know what I wish I could find is a 4-leaf clover. I always try to find one and I've never been able to my whole life. I look down and this little guy's peeking off the sidewalk. He's just like looking right at me. I'm on the phone. I look down for a second. He's just like, hi. I think the universe is trying to tell me something. I'm not sure though.
Pretty cool.
It's pretty dope. Pretty dope. I'm a lucky boy. But I bought a lottery ticket that day and it didn't win.
Which means our luck is somewhere else.
What are the chances? Not very good. Very true. Friendly rabbits are well-fed rabbits. My only regret, I didn't have anything to give him. I don't think he would have wanted my coffee. Maybe if I had coffee beans. Then we have a really friendly rabbit. Very hyper, too. Be like the one from Alice in Wonderland. Oh, yeah, we're going to have fun. I'm going to throw Harm in the water and everything.
Absolutely not.
I'm just kidding. I'll do it once.
Mm-hmm.
Our water actually looks pretty nasty right now. It looks like we got a bunch of trash from Long Island, which is a real bummer. We were thinking about bringing like gloves and grabber sticks or something and trash bags and just like going out there and picking that shit up because it's real nasty. Them damn New Yorkers. No time to say hello, goodbye. I'm late. I loved Alice in Wonderland when I was little.
It was my favorite movie. Weird.
That was my favorite movie too. I really liked the book. I found out Lewis Carroll's like a weirdo.
Indeed.
Isn't everybody though? I guess. Fuck. It's not okay. All these people I used to really love, and they just turn out to be fucking awful. Tim Burton's bad. Lewis Carroll's bad. J.K. Rowling's bad. They're all bad. Bad, 99 people. You didn't like the book. I really liked the book. And Through the Looking Glass was a good one. From the Sheep Shop. It's pretty dope. I need to figure out a way to stop time. So I can just sit down. I need like a Groundhog Day situation. Not eternally, but for like 40 years or so.
4 or 40?
40. So I can really just like really get good at some stuff. I need to prepare myself for this Yale application process. And I like to sit and create a lecture series. I was talking to my boss about if it might be possible for me to make a neuroscience lecture series, make it free to people, also maybe teach it here in Quebec at like one of the universities nearby. It'd be good for my CV and it'd just be nice to like give back to the community. But also put it online for anybody who wants to learn. Again, I really do think education should be free. Hi, Devices. Ah, yes, I remember Peter Pan. So the application process is kind of weird. It's a PhD in interdepartmental neuroscience. So it's part of the biological and biomedical program. So I have to apply through that department, but you know, they require a statement of purpose, which I'm currently working on. You know, you have to meet a certain GPA, which I'm not even sure I do. I think they got rid of the GRE score, which good. That thing's stupid. Let's see. I'm not sure what else I need to do. You know, you got to do like the application, fill it all out, give them a CV, which is your curriculum vitae. If anybody who doesn't know, that's kind of like an educational resume. Yep. What else? Pay the $150 or whatever it is to apply. And then, yeah, if they like you, they'll ask you for an interview. And if you do well in your first interview, they'll ask you to do another one. I think they do like 3 in their panel interviews. So I don't know. It's a lot. It has been a while. Yeah, I've been dealing with some like health stuff and also working like nonstop. Sorry I haven't been on here. But yeah, no, I haven't been making videos. I'm still losing followers like rapidly too. I think TikTok hates me now. But I'm still above 370,000, so I do need to start making more videos. More content. I don't know what to make videos about anymore though. It's hard to take such complex topics and make them simple. It takes a very long time for me to do that. And I just don't have a lot of time. But maybe I could start dedicating, 2 hours over the weekend or something. Yeah, I should definitely do a lecture series. I think it'd be a little too long for TikTok, but I could at least post videos letting people know when new lectures are up. You can come to YouTube and watch me. So ready to be like finishing up this project right now. Not that I don't enjoy it. I do enjoy it. I just really want a publication out. I may have a publication out soon. It's a neuroscience review on pain and memory. I did not contribute much to it. I just contributed the figures. I made pretty pictures for it. But still counts. That was the very first thing I did here at Yale. They said, "Hey, we have a paper we need to get out, but we need figures for it. Can you do that?" And I was like, "Yeah, I love doing art. I'll do that in a heartbeat, in an art beat." And but yeah, that should be submitted for publication soon. And then I'm working on another paper right now that I'm hoping to submit. I don't know, hopefully by the end of this year. I really would like it submitted before I apply to Yale because I think that's going to help my chances a lot. Literally what you told me to do. Thanks for the advice, Katie. Art beat. Harm hated that, by the way.
I like that.
We do terrible dad jokes all day around here. That's all we do.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that matters. You want to watch me like just messily eat bread?
Yes. But I'm married to you, so I might be biased.
What's that?
I said I do, but I'm married to you, so I might be biased.
That's your thing.
Bread.
Everybody loves bread. I love bread. Look at this bread. It's so nice, soft.
Maybe get a good batch of bread.
Making art and breaking hearts. That's all I do. I don't break Harm's heart, though. I break everybody else's heart because I'm like, sorry, I'm taken. Like that one gal in the process of me trying to get my ID, this one gal would like, I don't know. It was like a daily thing. She'd always see me and she was super friendly. I don't think I know how to pick up on people flirting with me. I absolutely have no idea. I don't pick up on a lot of social things. I think we know why. But yeah, and then Harm and I got married and I went in for the final day for me to pick up my badge. And she saw my ring and she was like visibly really disappointed. And I may not pick up on a lot of things, but I picked up on that. I was like, yeah, I'm excited. Poor lady. Sorry. I only have energy to torment one being in this world with creepy art. Bread. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, bread in English is bread.
Wow.
What is it in Spanish?
El pan.
El pan. In German, it's Brot. I wonder what bread is in Japanese. That's a lie. Katie called me out instantly. She knows. Katie's over here using conservative logic. Nuh-uh. Prove it. No, stop proving it. Oh my God. What is up with this? I don't know. I don't want to be like all political, but fucking conservative people are just insane. Republicans are nuts. Overproved? Yeah. You're using a little too much research there, buddy. We only believe in God here.
Oh, thank you.
Kate, what's up? It's good to see you. I'm doing well. Just eating dinner messily and loudly as ASMR. Yeah, I haven't been on in a while. Just yeah, busy with work and had some weird stuff come up with my health. Dumb things, not important things like TikTok. How do I get into Yale? Somebody answer me. How do I get them to see me and be like, this is a guy. We want this guy.
Show them your TikTok followers.
Show my TikTok followers.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be like, yeah, but that's not 1 million. Show me 1 million or show me nothing. My sister's convinced they're the Illuminati.
They probably are, to be fair.
To be fair, literally everything points to them being the Illuminati.
I don't think she's entirely wrong about that one particular thing.
She's wrong about a lot of stuff. This one,
Might be onto something there.
My sister was right about that. She was like, yeah, but if you did get in, you'd never be able to tell me. I have a very large brain. You think that would work? That sounds like some Trump logic. I have a good brain. It's a great brain. Nothing like it. It's the best brain. People tell me all the time that it's the best brain they've ever seen. All the time they tell me this. They say, hey, that brain is a good brain. I don't miss that guy's pointless rambling and his shitty arguments. Fuck, he was so stupid. What a stupid piece of shit. I hope I don't get banned from TikTok for that. But if I do, worth it. That guy sucks. My brain has an abnormal amount of wrinkles you'll find in this PET scan I brought with me. Yeah, I thought about other schools. I don't really want to go to another school. Like, honestly, I'm at this point where I know Yale is the school for me. I really do. I can expand on that, but I won't. Not right now. Maybe I will another time. Yale is the school for me. And if I don't get in, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to try again next year. And if I still don't get in, I'm not going to go for my PhD. I'm just not going to get it. Because Yale has the tools. It is the school I want to go to for a lot of reasons. A lot of reasons beyond the scope that I just need the tools. But what it comes down to for me, it's not a whole thing like, oh, I deserve to go to Yale. Oh, I'm a big shot, whatever. It's nothing like that. It's just that I'm already here and I'm doing it. And if I'm going to put the effort in, I'm willing to put the effort in for something like that because that is a very high reward thing for me. If I don't get in, I think I would rather shift my focus away from getting my PhD and just keeping my master's because I still have a master's. Like, that's fine. You get a PhD because you want to do something with it, right? And typically, what you do with a PhD is research. And going to school at Yale would be a ton of work, but it would be worth it for me to get a PhD so that I can do research anywhere I want to. If I can't, I think that I would rather put my time and effort into content creation and just start teaching people online for free through like YouTube and stuff. And I think I would just go full force, say, screw my job, screw all this thing. This is going to be my new job now, is being an entertainer, an educational entertainer. That's what I think. I'm not sure. Things can always change, but that's kind of where my mind is at right now. I don't know that I have the mental fortitude to pack up everything and move again to go to a different school, is what I'm saying. That's just too much work and not enough benefit. Offer to be a cadaver. They're like, oh, deal, and just kill me on the spot. Being here does feel like a really good fit for me. I really love the people here. We have a great community. We get along really well. Oh, thanks, Kate. Yeah, lots of opportunities here. And I already have some opportunities. Like I work at Yale. If I get a couple publications, that's great. I can take that and do something with that. But I think I would rather, if I really can't get my PhD here, I think I would rather focus on content creation and make that my job. Maybe books too. I really like to sit and write books. The problem is that I'm kind of like the breadwinner here right now. So bread. I can't really like just stop working for the time being. So we're trying to get Harm up and running so that she can make lots and lots of.
Well, at least enough.
At least enough to like carry us a little bit more. And then once we can get to that point, then I might start thinking about doing, other stuff. This stuff I want to do more. Not that I don't want to do what I'm doing now. I really love my job. My job's awesome. Always barely misses tenure and has to move to a new college every 6 years. That sucks. That's so annoying. My old boss actually just got approved for tenure today. He was very excited. I'm really happy for him. I'm very proud of him. He's now fully tenured. It's the dream, isn't it? I don't know if I'll go that route, though. Maybe. But boy, if I could get like a really good scholarship or something to just like sit down and write a book, I think I would like to do that for a year. Just get funded to write a book. I think that would be dope.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I would write about though.
You've got plenty of options.
Do a life story thing.
Mm-hmm.
Every 5-ish years, yeah. That's about how often we moved when I was a kid too. Sometimes more. I've eaten so much food now. That first hour, I didn't eat anything. This last half hour, I'm like, nah. All right, I'm done. Get it away from me. What do now? Need a sabbatical? Buy a bunch of ISBNs at once and write several books? I actually have no idea how that process works. Also, what kind of book should I do? Should I do like a should I do like a technical book? Should I do like a book? Should I say screw this and do like a little kids book for neuroscience? Apparently, B is for brain. And not bed nucleus stria terminalis. Yeah. Sabbatical would be nice. I don't think I've ever actually had a vacation. Ever. I think, well, that's not true. I did go on a trip years ago, but a kid's book and a coloring book, hey, even just for like some supplemental income, that would be nice. Just help out. I know I could really use the help right now too. So maybe I should actually start working on that. Because it's not so much that Harm and I need it, but my sister really needs help right now. Harm and I have been like trying to help support her here and there, and we've basically given her hundreds of dollars trying to keep her afloat, but it just didn't work. And now we're like just keeping afloat. But my sister lost her place to live, and she's going to be out on the street in California here in like 2 days. She is disabled due to a work injury, and and they're not giving her disability check. They just basically strung her along for months. They haven't given it to her, and so she wasn't able to pay the rent. That's how she got kicked out. Yep. So she's all the way in California. I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm literally on the opposite side of the United States, and I have no money. Definitely start with a kid's book and a coloring book. You just have to make it once, and then it'll keep producing money. As opposed to content, which takes regular maintenance. That's true. Surprise check from the printer from Amazon sales. Yeah, I can't fly to Cali. We literally don't have any more money. We've given her all the money we can to help pay her cell phone bill and food and like all this other stuff over the last couple months. And now Harm and I are like struggling really bad.
Well, and if we did go, there's not really anything we could do.
Yeah. Also, if we did go, there's literally nothing we could do. We would go there and be like, "Hi, sorry things suck. I guess we'll just be here with you while things suck," which arguably is kind of a thing you can do, but I don't know that I could take the time off work either. It's just a really tough situation. It sucks. Maybe I need to put my Cash App back up. It's start asking people to help out. It's not. I don't know. I hate asking people for money. It sucks. But we all need help once in a while. My poor sis. This might be a sign to start getting some artwork pumped out. Throw it up on the Redbubble. Yeah. Yeah, I hope she figures it out too. It sucks, man. She's like in her 40s and her back is just like jacked up from a injury that this coworker caused. It's really stupid. Yeah. And she couldn't sue the company for it. So, or I'm not sure. She might be trying. I don't know. But right now, she's just like trying to find the money for like a P.O. box for when her check finally does come in. She's been waiting on it for like 2 months. But now it's like too late. She already lost her house. Like, thanks a lot, you know? Oh, well. So it goes. But, I mean, I've been in that position a couple of times. Not that exact position, but like homeless or on the verge of homelessness a lot of times. And I've always made it through. She has too. She's a really resilient person. But man, when you're like too fricked up to move and yeah, I don't know. I don't know what she's going to do. Live in her car, I guess, with her dog. Luckily, he's a very little dog. Maybe I can do a fundraiser or something. I don't know what I can do. Auction off my artwork. Something. There's got to be something I can do. Yeah, she doesn't have a house. She was renting an apartment. Yeah. I mean, yeah, she owns her car. Her car is pretty old. She's owned it for a while. I think a family member gave it to her. I think her mom, or her other mom, I should say, gave it to her. So luckily she owns that. It's falling apart every like couple months, which sucks, but yeah, it's better than nothing. Yeah. Yeah. California is hard. That place is crazy expensive. She's gonna have to move somewhere else. Maybe we'll fly her up here or something. I don't know that she'd be able to live with us. I don't know that my landlord would be into that idea. She might be able to just stay with us for a bit or something. I don't know. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I feel like this live has reached a conclusion, and I think that the universe is telling me, hey, go make art. So that's what I'm going to work on. I want you all to know that I love you. You're all good people. You're good people. You're good people. I want you to know that. You, I'm looking at you. Yeah, we will have a fun beach day tomorrow. For sure. Hopefully. I mean, you never know. Sometimes the weather's weird, but it should be good. Yeah. I am looking at you, Katie. You first and foremost. You better be good. All right, friends. Much love. I'm out of here. Maybe I'll see you next week or in the next couple of days.